What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, this second trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has got to be the best trailer Marvel Studios has dropped, and in quite some time. Not only was there a palpable sense of hype on social media immediately following its release, but there are so many Easter eggs packed into the imagery in really every frame in this trailer. So instead of the normal macro overview and narrative read-through, you guys already know a lot of this. Who's MODOK and who's Kang? We're really going to focus on the smallest of details, the things you could have missed that I think reveal a ton about what's actually going on in this film. We're going to jump into this full Easter egg breakdown of the second trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, including one huge detail I think everybody missed, explaining how this ties to the Marvels and the MCU in a major way. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one will coincide with the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp in the middle of February, so we are not that far away. Again, all you got to do, be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so as some of you probably noticed, they very obviously edited this trailer to follow the same sort of chronological order as the film, meaning we can break the trailer up into a first, second, and third act. And in this first part of the trailer, they use two poignant images, both his daughter Cassie as the wallpaper on his phone, and then only frames later showing his daughter all grown up and stepping out of a prison cell. Now, that prison cell imagery is meant to remind us that not only did Scott Lang lose the 5 years of Cassie's life while he was stuck in the quantum realm, but he also spent a ton of time in prison. Now, during the first two films, they've already established how important Cassie is to him as a major part of his character, his narrative, and his motivation, and this is all meant to set up when they finally get into the quantum realm, the point of attack that Kang is going to use in order to sort of leverage this against getting Ant-Man to help him, which is where we pick up as we move into the second part of the trailer, being reintroduced to Kang as we were in the first, but this time seeing an extended look, and more importantly, Kang's eyes all lit up blue after his blue visor retracts. Now, I love that they gave an ode to the old school art by explaining it as a blue visor, and blue visors are nothing new in the MCU. From Guardians of the Galaxy to Avengers Endgame, we've seen it time and again. But what is not standard fare? Well, are these eyes lit up blue and in this way? And as you can see just a couple of frames later, they're not lit up blue anymore. I think there is a very good possibility that this is directly tied to another pair of glowing blue eyes when we saw at first Monica Rambeau become her superhero in what we thought might be called Photon, but apparently in a recent update will go by the codename of Spectrum. She had the exact same blue glowing eyes after she makes it through the Hex in WandaVision, and as her eyes start to adjust once in the Hex, she sees the world perceived this way. Now, while we had guesses at the time what this was, I think it's pretty clear here now that she is seeing quantum energy through those blue lit up eyes in the exact same way that Kang is also powered by quantum energy, and you can tell that by the fact that the suit is harnessing it, and as soon as the visor comes down, his eyes are still lit up blue, and then they slowly start to fade the same way that Monica's did as well. It's the suit that's harnessing quantum energy and giving him all these powers and abilities, the same way that Tony's suit was able to harness electricity after his matchup with Whiplash, and all the other things it was able to do with his nanotech. Kang's outfit and technology is what's giving him the ability to harness quantum energy and then use it in ways like we saw here at the end of the trailer. Now, I do think it's fair and warranted to draw conclusions now about Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel as well. Both of their eyes have been known to light up when using their powers, and we also know from the footage they showed at D23, which I was there in person, that it is confirmed their powers are all intertwined. Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and Ms. Marvel, when they use their powers, they all trade places. This means that if one of their energies is based on quantum energy, there's a good chance all of their energies and power set are based on quantum energy. And so while it's going to require a follow-up video to do a deep dive into that and explore the origins of how some of them were set off by Infinity Stones, some of them on these new artifacts, and what it all means for quantum energy, ultimately this is going to set up just how powerful Kang is and how they may look to defeat him as we get towards the end of the multiverse saga. Now, changing gears for just a second to coincide with the drop of the trailer last night, Marvel Studios also released a press publication that had a ton of new information information about certain characters in the film that had not yet been confirmed. First and foremost, Bill Murray is confirmed now by Marvel Studios to be playing Lord Krylar, and this is what they wrote in an official promo quote. Lord Krylar is the governor of Axia, a bizarre and cushy community within the quantum realm. Call him cowardly or self-centered, Krylar unapologetically enjoys the high life his status grants him, expensive meals, exotic cocktails, and top-notch transportation aboard his huge pleasure yacht. It seems Janet and him are old acquaintances, but the details are vague and she'd like to keep it that way. Bill Murray portrays Lord Krylar. Now, the reason I brought this up was not only to confirm what character he's playing, and yes, you can make all the comparisons you want to the Grand Master, because as soon as they wrote pleasure yacht, it sounds exactly like that. We know that he must be living this high life at the expense of Kang. As long as he does the bidding that Kang wants, he'll be fine. That's why he'll be at slight odds, or there'll be at least some awkwardness between him and Janet, who we should point out, when we're finally caught up with Janet Van Dyne in the end of Ant-Man 2, is dressed exactly like the rebels were presented during the trailer for Ant-Man 3, meaning that she was probably at odds with Kang and had double-crossed him long before she was ever able to exit the quantum realm. And that double cross is at the crux of not only what Kang wants Ant-Man's help with, but what Kang is ultimately doing here at the end of the trailer, and why we see a million different versions of Ant-Man. So starting back at the beginning of the trailer, when you hear Janet Van Dyne narrating that he can't be trusted, Kang has already shown that he's willing to lie, and he's already done so during the first trailer. He goes, "You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" right after he says, "I know how everything happens." Well, if you know how everything was going to go for R. Scott Lang and in this moment, why would you have to ask if you had killed him before? Obviously, there are some things that he doesn't know, but what he can do is unlimited with quantum energy, and she goes on to say he can rewrite existence. And that's what we're seeing here with these multiple versions of Ant-Man. It's actually the same Ant-Man, R616 Ant-Man, being ripped apart into multiple versions of himself, and this is all based on a quantum mechanic theory from Einstein, Podolsky, and Rosen, the EPR article that went on to spawn the thought experiment of Schrodinger's cat. The simplified version of the EPR article, as it's referred, is the counterintuitive nature of quantum superpositions, in which a quantum system such as an atom or photon can exist in a combination of multiple states corresponding to different possible outcomes, and this is all supported by the many worlds interpretation of quantum theory. Basically, somebody can be in multiple states, and that state isn't determined until it's observed. Simultaneous multiple states. So what we see Kang doing here to Ant-Man with his unlimited quantum energy is continually ripping apart, like a save screen in a video game, Ant-Man every time he doesn't do what he chooses. He can keep resetting and making another version of him as he observes him not making the right choices. A million ants choosing to go against Kang, each one failing, him having to create yet another one, all leading us to this 616 Paul Rudd, who's going to look to, borrowing a quote from Game of Thrones, break the wheel of this and figuring out a way that he can lose and that Kang can lose as well, because it all comes down to what Kang needs in order to leave the quantum realm. That's what was stolen from him and taken by Janet Van Dyne. That's what Ant-Man has that he needs. Ultimately, I believe these are PIM particles. Just the same way that Iron Man needed them to create a quantum navigation device, Kang may need them in order to leave. Those PIM particles are what Ant-Man may hold the key to, maybe as a part of the suit that he has on, or as a way to get out of the quantum realm, as he's done multiple times now in the MCU. And ultimately, Ant-Man seems to, in this multi-version state, constantly be choosing not to do it. These are the variations we see, these Schrodinger's cats of Ant-Man, the Schrodinger's ants, if you will, the million possible states of Ant-Man, all choosing to fight Kang, him constantly creating more versions. Not Ant-Man across the multiverse, it's not 616 and 838, these are all 616 versions in multiple states. And it's crazy to me that Marvel Studios, in a movie like Ant-Man, are going to look to make visual representations of some of the craziest and cutting edge quantum theory that's out there, but for a movie called Quantumania that looks to actually use some real world science, and when it works to make these Marvel movies more believable, it looks like they're going all the way with this. Guys, I know that we covered some big theories here in this video, and over the coming days and weeks here at the channel, we're going to look to break them down even further. I have a lot to say about the nature of the Marvel's power, where those bands originally came from, and in a follow-up video, I'm going to talk about about exactly where I think that beacon was leading in the Shang-Chi post-credit scene. In the meantime, let me know all your thoughts down below. As always, quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel, but now that we've hit 1 million subscribers, which huge thank you to all of you, we're going to do to coincide with the release of Marvel movies instead of major subscription milestones. The next one will be Ant-Man and the Wasp: QUANTUMANIA in the middle of February. We're just about a month away, so if you want to be entered to win or for any of the other daily giveaways we announce here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. All you got to do is be a subscriber, so make sure to hit that subscriber button and then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos during the same segment with my live voice in the comments shown on the channel. So on my channel or any others on YouTube, really any platform, anybody can use anybody other's photo. If you see scammer comments where people are asking you to contact them on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp, no YouTuber will ever do that. No YouTuber will ever ask you to pay for shipping. And again, we only announce winners live during the video. So if you see those comments on my channel, any of the other channels, please just report them. YouTube says they know about them, but they've been there for over a year, and it seems like they may be getting worse recently instead of getting better. Either way, you can find me in a couple of places: Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.